Hello, welcome to the XP3 Talent Acceleration Onboarding Setup video. My name is Ashley Rambo, and I am a Client Success Manager here at XP3. This video will walk you through step by step how to set up your onboarding template. So go ahead and take a moment to log into the XP3 Talent Management Platform at xp3talentsystem.com at this time. It may be helpful if you have this tutorial in one window and the talent system in the next, so that you can follow along as we go throughout the training. As a reminder, if you are an executive or full service client, or if you have opted into our onboarding program, we will be scheduling a 90-minute onboarding call where we will guide you through setting up your onboarding training schedule. So the first step in setting up your onboarding template is to consider what information and people you need to involve in the onboarding process. As we discussed in our onboarding overview video, it is important to be intentional about creating an amazing and supportive onboarding experience if you want your new hire to be successful and engaged in their work. In order to do this, your plan should include as many employees as possible, as this helps facilitate connections and relationships, which leads to collaboration and increased retention. It should also include an introduction to your mission, vision, and values, the big picture functions and departments within your organization, key people to meet with from each area, any job-specific training, and events like team lunches and happy hours to further support building strong relationships. Here's an example template for identifying who and what to include in the big picture topics of your onboarding training plan. This isn't about teaching them everything. Rather, it is about giving them an overview of how the company works and an understanding of the ripple effect of their work. So make a list of each key function or department. As you can see in this example, we've selected accounting. Next, consider the purpose of the department and the key functions or topics everyone should understand. From there, identify key roles and people the new hire should meet with to shadow or to learn from. And again, this is meant to be high level. Although depending on the role of the new hire, some areas may need to be more in-depth. We realize this takes a little planning the first few times you do this, but I assure you, once you've gotten this refined and established, it can be used for all positions. Our onboarding schedule is housed in the XP3 Talent Management Platform. Again, once you've set up your template, it's very easy to clone this and use it for other roles. So let's go ahead and get started. And remember, feel free to hit play and pause as you need to in order to follow along. These are the steps we will follow during this video. This step-by-step tutorial is housed in our resource library, which you can access at the bottom left menu of our XP3 Talent Management platform. So the first step is to select a training template. When you log into the talent platform, you're going to land on the dashboard page. You will want to use our left navigation menu to go to the onboarding page. As you can see, it defaults to the global view. This is where you can access our onboarding training plan template, which we are going to clone and use for this training example. We also recommend you copy this and use it the first time you're creating a training plan because it includes all of our best practices. Now, if you feel like you want to go a completely different route, you can click Create Template at the top right. One more thing to mention here, the onboarding training plan template, as you can see, the only thing I have permission to do is view it. So don't worry, you won't mess it up if you click on it. Once the training template loads, you can get a glance at what it looks like. Again, you only have view permissions at this point. So I want to go ahead and clone the template from here. So click on Clone Template in the top right. This will create a copy that I can then customize to meet my needs. So we recommend naming the template with the role-the employee's name. This way, if we hire additional people in this role, it's really easy to clone it and tweak it if needed or not for that new hire. Once you've entered your name, hit the Clone Onboarding Template button. At the top right, it says Onboarding Template Cloned, so I know that it successfully created it. I'm going to pause for a moment before we go and edit that plan, and I want to show you how to invite users. Our training plan has various users assigned to be a part of the training plan and the onboarding experience. You will want to navigate to the top right of the page and click on your company's logo. In order to invite a user, you click on the Invite User button. You will be asked to enter their email and to select a role. So as you can see, when I click on the drop-down menu, there are several different roles available. The admin permissions gives the user access to all the tools and all the features. There should only be a few people that have admin permission. The manager permission gives them access to most of the tools and features. In this case, you will want to make your trainers at least a manager. The employee role only gives them access to their information. So if you are inviting your new hire as a user, this would give them permission to their onboarding plan and to something called a career path and assessment, which is a powerful tool for growth and development. And that's a different topic for a different day. So go ahead, select the appropriate permissions, enter their email, and click on the Invite Users button. Okay, back to our training plan. So the next step is to select your template you just created and edit it. In order to do that, you're going to click on Onboarding again. Remember, it defaults to the global view, so you want to click on Organization in order to see the templates you just created. As you can see here, we have multiple training plans for various roles. Eventually you will as well, and it will be really easy for you to click on these and clone them for new hires in the future. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the one I just created so that we can now begin to edit the onboarding training plan. So as you can see, our training plan is 10 days. I can add additional days or delete additional days as necessary to meet the onboarding needs. You can also click on each day and see what is scheduled. It shows the training topic, the time, the trainer, and what the trainer will be covering. We can edit all of this information. So I'm going to show you how to do this by looking at day one. So in order to edit this, I simply need to click on the pencil icon. I can change the start and the end time. I can change the title of what they're doing and enter any description that I want. I also need to assign a trainer. So if I wanted to assign a different trainer, I just click on the drop-down menu and I can pick someone else's name from here. It's important to note that all of these fields are required in order to save or update the activity. I also want to point out, if you change the start time or the end time of the first item, it could affect subsequent times and you will need to adjust them as well. The other thing I will show you is that I can then delete this topic if I don't think this is something we're going to do, or move it to another day. So in order to move it to another day, I just need to click on the calendar icon and you'll see my activity here loaded. I can pick to move it to any of the other days that are already out there. Once I've gone through and I'm sure that I have all of my topics, all of my trainers assigned and all of my trainers have entered their content and it's all ready to go. So this part of the phase may take a while as everybody logs in and enters their information. You want to make sure that this is right before you go on to the next step, which is to assign the completed training plan to your new hire. Because once you do that, you really can't easily edit it from that view. You actually have to come all the way back to this master view, make adjustments, and then reassign it. So it's really important to know that you take the time to edit this and get it exactly how you want it. So let's say this is great and it's perfect and it's exactly what I want. I'm going to go ahead and click on employees so that I can assign it to the employee. So in this case, we're practicing onboarding me. So I'm going to find my name here and click on it. It will load the employee details. And if you scroll down to the bottom of their page, it will say onboarding plan. And as you can see here, it says this employee does not have an onboarding plan yet. I can click on assign template. And now I can go ahead and pick the training plan that I want to use for this employee. So if you remember earlier, I showed you that we have multiple training plans that are out there, and someday that will likely be you as well. So I'm going to make sure that I select the one that I just created and edited for my new employee. The next thing I want to do is pick the days that I will be trained. So my work week is Monday through Friday. So I'm going to check each of these days so that it can assign it to me based on that, and then click assign. All right. So now I can go in and click on this training plan. And you can now see that it shows all of the activities. It shows my progress, and it shows the schedule. But what you might notice is that it says unassigned up here. That is because we haven't assigned it a start date yet. So the next step is to assign actual dates. So in order to do that, all you need to do is click on the calendar and then pick a date that you want to start. So let's say I'm going to start on the 17th. So I would pick the 17th and then assign day activities. And now you can see this has been assigned to the 17th, and you can see all the dates and times and view the details. Also notice how the colors have changed. This is a brighter orange, so we know it has the date, so we know that it's been scheduled. Where the other ones are a little bit lighter, so we know we still need to assign those. So you'll want to repeat this process of clicking on the calendar and assigning the date for each of the training days. So once this has been assigned, the next thing is you can print the training plan, which is really nice. It gives it a nice view. This is great because you can send it to the new hire ahead of time so they know what to expect. You can also give a copy to the new hire's manager so they know where to find them, or anybody involved in the onboarding process so they know when they will be meeting with that person. You also can email it. So next to the print icon, there's this email button, and I can pick a user and easily send this to a user. So in this case, I'm going to send it to myself. And now I will receive a copy of that. So once you've got it scheduled, you've sent your plan or you've printed your plan, the next step is to make sure that you send calendar invites for each topic and time to those trainers so that they can block it on their calendar, or ask them to do that when you send them the plan. So once your new hire is started, the next thing that will need to happen as they go throughout their onboarding journey is to provide feedback and score their learning progress. So in order to do that, you or your trainer just need to click on the session. So I go ahead and click View Details, it will pull up the training event. What I can do then is click Mark as Completed. So this is going to say, okay, I've met with them, we've covered this topic. How did they do? How was their engagement? You know, how well did they demonstrate learning this topic? And you can rate them on the scale. And then you can also provide commentary in terms of like, what did they do well? What areas might you need to circle back on to reinforce later? And for this case, I'm just going to type test. So we have some text in there and then hit submit when you're done. And you can see that my performance is now scored here, and there is that comment there. So once your new hire has started their training plan and items have been updated and completed along the way, it will show their progress. As you can see here, the progress is not reflected yet because we said my start date was the 17th. So we have not yet reached that start date, but it will show the activities that have been completed and their overall progress. And again, you will be able to click into anything and see how that employee is progressing and collect that feedback on areas to circle back on. This concludes our training. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to one of our team members or email us at info@xp3talent.com. Thank you.